So some of you know that I think we have a couple of teachers on here that I have a yoga intentions book, and I was reading through it today, prepping for some of my classes. And I'm actually just going to read you one of the paragraphs from the book because our intention this morning is stress and rest. And it talks a little bit about the theme of a class, but it says in sports training and in yoga asana, the most broad and broadly in life, stress is not the enemy. It's the tool for adaptation. Without stress, we would never grow. Stress is a stimulus that encourages us to respond on the cellular and organic levels to become stronger and more resilient. But stress must be met with equal attention to rest so the body can recover adequately. If you are a student that is type A, you may be more familiar with the stress part of the equation. If you're type B, you may more be drawn to the rest side. It is important to find the balance. So for today's practice, we are finding that balance of stress and rest. Engaging when we put intention towards engagement. And releasing when we need to rest and release and rejuvenate. Starting our intention with a quote from William James: "The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another." So as we move and we practice today, choosing when you are going to soften, choosing when you are going to engage and strengthen. As you inhale, reach arms up overhead. And as you exhale, turn to the right gently, twisting through torso. Inhale, lengthen. And turn towards left. Inhale, reach up. Place your hands on your knees, scoop out your belly, carve it out, round your shoulders, seated cat pose. Inhale, press the heart forward, belly forward, seated cow. Move through that breath cycle. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cat rather. Inhale, cow. Two more just like this. Inhale. Shoulders drop back. And when you're ready, come back to that neutral spine, lift and lengthen out of the low back, reach from the crown of the head, and you can simply walk yourself into a tabletop position. You can find some quick little movements of the hips side to side here. But then spread your fingers wide, lift your hips up and find downward facing dog. Lift the heels up and then press them down. Look forward, walk both feet to the top of the mat. Take a slow roll up. Make that choice. Slow things down, one vertebrae over the other. Head and shoulders come up last. Inhale, rise arms. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Let the shoulders relax. Feel grounded through the padded parts of your feet, bellies pulled in. More importantly here in our standing Tadasana, prepare your mind for practice, prepare your mind for your intention. Stress and rest, making that choice, when to engage and when to soften, when to change and 1 to stay still. Inhale, rise arms up. Bring hands through heart center, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to high plank pose and hold. Pull the hip to rib cage, breathe. Push the floor away from you. 3 breaths here. Inhale, and as you exhale, slowly lower down to your belly, maybe moving through the knees. Tops of the feet are pressing into the mat. Bring the arms out to a T, tenting the fingers, drawing shoulder blades back. As you inhale, press through your tented fingers, lift up, peel your chest off the mat. Exhale, lower down. You can move at your own breath pace here. We're going to take about 4 or 5 of them. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last breath here. Inhale and exhale. Tuck the toes under, re-engage the legs. Option to go through the knees. Bring hands underneath the shoulders. Make your way back up to plank pose and downward facing dog. Move the feet around. Take a couple little knee bends. Then look forward, walk feet behind the hands. Roll 1 vertebrae at a time, slowing it down. Shoulder heads roll back and down. Inhale, rise arms. Exhale through heart center. Lift up halfway. Plant hands, step back, high plank pose. 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Keep that tummy tight. Last one here. Inhale. And as you exhale, slowly lower all the way down to your belly. This time you can keep your hands right underneath the shoulders. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Inhale, peel your chest up. Lightly press fingertips into mat. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, lower. Last inhale here. Exhale, lower. Tuck your toes under. Again, option to connect through the knees rather than the toes. Press up high plank and back to down dog. Look forward, bring feet to the top of the mat. Start to slowly roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Head and shoulders up last. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step back to high plank pose. Take a shift forward here, engage. Lower down, halfway, chaturanga. Elbows are in, bellies are pulled in tight. This is the strengthening part. Inhale, lift your chest open through your heart. Exhale, find that engagement. Roll yourself back to down dog. Pedal your feet out. Lengthen the back. Lift your right toes high. Turn the right hip bone down and hug your knee to your nose, squeezing, scooping out that belly. 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lengthen the leg again. Exhale, plant the foot between the hands, low lunge. Lower down to your back knee. Inhale, rise. Turn your pinkies in. Let's drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Let yourself soften into the hips. Frame out the right foot. Take the left leg and bring it inward. Shift yourself forward and back, just finding a little bit of space in the thighs. So that left ankle is drawn in towards the right ankle. Find your hips at neutral, right knee over the ankle. Plant the right hand to the inside. Sweep it open into a supported warrior two. Feel the right leg still engaged, shoulders are relaxed. Reach forward, extend, place the hand to the inside, open up the chest. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, plant the left hand down on the earth, extend right leg, gate pose, extending and reaching through that right side body. Come back to that warrior two variation on the back knee. Bring your hands around the right foot. Turn the left leg more neutral again behind the knee. Draw the toes towards the nose. Shift forward, tuck left knee under. Step back to high plank pose. Shift forward, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Inhale, down dog. Left toes lift. Hug knee to nose, squeezing. Scoop out your belly and breathe. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, reach left leg back. Plant the foot between the hands, low lunge. Lower down to that right knee, rise high. Drop shoulders, drop the hips. Breathe right here. Frame out the left foot. Bring the right ankle in and find some of that forward and back space here in the hips. Start to bring the left knee over the left ankle, bring the left hand in, begin to sweep the right arm open into that warrior two variation. Shoulders over hips, gaze is still forward. You're light and fluffy through the left toes. Reach forward, place the left hand to the inside of the left leg, open it up, extended side angle. Start to lift the chest up, place the right hand behind you, begin to lengthen that left leg, gate pose option. Come back to warrior two. Frame out that left foot. Turn the right leg to come back behind the knee, or the foot rather to come back behind the knee, and start to draw the toes back towards the nose. Shift yourself back forward, tuck right toes under, step back high plank pose, shift forward, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, back to down dog. Pedal your feet out. Moving on, inhale, right toes up. Plant the foot between the hands, low lunge. Spin left heel down, rise up to warrior one. Sink your hips, let the shoulders drop and soften. Wiggle your 5 right toes. Push energy into the pinky edge of the left foot. Bring your hands behind your back as you interlace the fingers or grab for opposite forearms, but face your shoulders forward. This is going to be an engagement, so pull your tummy in and start to guide the crown of the head towards the front of the mat. Gaze is down. Sink into your hips so the knee is over the ankle. Keep breathing. Release your hands, bring biceps back by the ears, extend it forward. Breathe. Find all of that engagement. Make that choice. And then as you exhale, plant the hands to the inside of the right foot. Start to transition over to the forward fold. Allow the head and neck to hang heavy. Allow the inversion to settle in. Head is lower than the heart. Spine is lengthening. You're welcome to stay here if you choose that restorative posture today. Head lower than the heart. Find a little softness in the knees. For a little bit more engagement and strengthening, start to bring your hands underneath the shoulders, ground down through the left hand, open up to the right, and gently work into your twist. If that feels okay, you're going to take the right hand, bring it to the outside of the left hip. Try to set the hips center so you're not pushing them over to the right. Recenter them and open through your shoulder. Release the right hand down, replace it. Left arm starts with extension. Maybe that bind. Hips are neutral as you draw the left shoulder open. Release it back down. Soften your knees wherever you're at. Start to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Slowing it down here. Shoulder heads roll back and down. Transition right toes to face forward. Move into warrior two. Flip right palm, reverse warrior. Stay deep into that front leg. Cartwheel hands around right foot. Step back high plank. Optional chaturanga or down dog. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left toes rise. Plant foot between the hands, low lunge. Spin right heel down, rise up, warrior one. Sink into your hips, turn your shoulders forward. Wiggle the left toes and push energy into the pinky edge of that right foot. Interlace the hands behind the back and start to extend that energy to the front of the mat. Gaze is down. Belly's pulled in. Continue to square out those shoulders to the front. Chest is facing down. Even though we might be choosing stress in the body right now, we're fully engaged. Find the rest with the breath. Allow that breath to calm the body. Start to bring biceps by the ears as you extend that energy forward even further. Release the hands down to the mat. Walk your toes forward into that wide-legged down dog. And this one is a full restorative option. Let the head and neck hang completely heavy. Let every muscle in the upper body fall heavy and relaxed. Start to bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, soften knees, and roll yourself up. Slowing things down a little bit here. Head and shoulders come up last. Transition left toes forward, gaze is forward. Start to engage and deepen. Flip your left palm up, reverse warrior, reaching back, extending back. And cartwheel hands around the left foot, step back to high plank pose. Shift forward, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Rise your right toes up and bring the knee behind the wrist, half pigeon. Start by staying lifted here. So align your hips, see if you can get your hips to be right in alignment. If you're finding that that right hip is dipping down a little bit, maybe take a little something and prop it underneath your seat for a little bit more support. Open and widen through the collarbone, lift and reach back. So melt those shoulder heads back as you pull belly in. Breathe right here. And then begin to walk your hands forward, fold forward into half pigeon. Press through your hands, let the chest lift up, tuck the left toes under, find engagement as you move back into down dog. Left toes will rise. Draw left knee behind wrist, half pigeon. Again, settle in, finding your right alignment, finding extension through that back leg, even in the hips. And then begin to rise your chest and walk your fingertips back, even into just this little back bend as you work to continue to keep belly pulled in. And as you're ready, begin to walk hands forward, half pigeon. Start to press through your hands, lift your chest, make your way back to down dog. And right away, you can walk your feet through your hands, taking a seat on your mat. Tense out your legs and begin to roll all the way down. Arms will goalpost out by their sides. Squeeze your shoulder blades together towards one another. So this sensation of almost hiding the upper spine with your shoulder blades, we take this sensation or this adjustment in bridge pose. We also take it in some of our supine twists. Bring the knee above the hips, press the low back into the mat and flex the feet. Take a breath in and keep those shoulder blades connected as you drop the knees to the right and you gaze over to the left. Bring knees back through center. Continue to stay engaged through those shoulder blades, hiding the upper spine. Send breath into belly and drop knees to left as you gaze over right. Bring it back to center. Wrap your arms around your shins. Now you can round through that upper back as you pull the thighs towards the chest. Squeeze everything in as a final engagement. And then as we move to that final resting pose, extend the legs long. Body will soften. This is that opportunity to make that choice. We can choose to allow our mind to continue to chatter. You can choose to engage in that internal speak and allow the thoughts to race. And maybe that's where you're at today. That's okay. But I challenge you to see if you can find a mental place of rest. Clearing all those thoughts out. Giving your body this opportunity to be without thought. Start to find some movement in your fingers and toes. Reach your arms overhead and roll to either side of your body. And as you're ready, you can begin to press up into a comfortable seat, thumbs pressing towards heart center. Chin slightly tucked as you lengthen the back of the neck. Jaw relaxes. The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. Thank you for practicing with me this Thursday morning. Namaste.